Hello, good evening, and welcome to the first episode of the show, Cayuga After Dark. I'm your host, Maddox Frere. Tonight, I'll be interviewing Lily Bernard and Tina Kovar, who are two students of the college. Lily is a music production major, and Tina is getting hers for video production. But more importantly, they're also two members of Siren Sync, which sounds like a really complicated issue to explain to your plumber. Like, yeah, no, the pipes aren't leaking, they're just making music now. But no, they're really a new up-and-coming local band. But before we get into that, I wanted to talk about Coachella from a few weeks ago. I'm sure you all heard about it. You know, I looked into getting tickets myself because everyone said how expensive they were. And for the low price of your kidney, you could get a day pass. And you have two of them, so it kind of feels like a fair trade-off to me. But that was just for general admission. So if you want a good view, they're gonna have to take one of your lungs too. But all jokes aside, Sabrina Carpenter was there and she got herself a little canceled on stage. Apparently, she thought that there was a group of yodelers trying to upstage her, and she really told them off. But anyways, the band we're going to be talking to today has much better things to do than go to Coachella, although, unfortunately, their bassist, Heather O'Donnell, couldn't make it in due to a dentist appointment at 2:30. Seriously, like I know that's a common dentist joke, but it was really the time of her appointment. I wish I was kidding. I couldn't make it up if I tried. That's actually not true. I just told you that it was a joke. But anyways, nothing says indie band like prioritizing dental hygiene. But they're currently signed, working on their debut album, Recipes from Memory, right here at CCC with the help of Cayuga Records, the record label ran by students. Which is great because nothing fuels creativity more than juggling classes and a final product deadline while still having to record your debut album right after the lecture. But that's what makes local bands so great. One day you'll be able to say, oh yeah, I knew them back when they'd go to the studio in between math class and rating the free stacks on campus, but hey, free food is free food. I'm sure when one of them needs to get into the zone for a sad song, they can just think about the bad grades they got on the last test, which I know we all can relate to. And in case you're wondering, no, Siren Sync does not use AI to write any of their lyrics. So if the song seems like they're missing a considerable amount of oddly placed dashes and that reassurance that you keying your boyfriend's car was actually the right move, that's why. Because they were actually written by humans. Or maybe they're sirens, but we'll figure that out by the end of the interview. But before we dive in, we're going to take a short commercial break to allow you to get comfortable, get a snack, maybe text a person you've left on red for 3 days, but hey, that's none of my business. Get ready to enjoy the show, and we'll be right back.
Cayuga is more than a community college.
Cayuga is my choice. Centered on your decisions, passions, and aspirations, Cayuga offers flexibility with campuses in Auburn and Fulton, and countless online options. We empower students to take courses the way they want, in the format they know best.
Cayuga is my future. Whether you plan to transfer to a university or enter the workforce with your associate's degree, our programs are designed for your success. You set the goals, and we provide the tools and support to achieve them.
Cayuga is my career. Cayuga is focused on helping you build the foundation for your chosen career. With over 50 degrees, certificate, micro-credential, and training programs, we offer students the chance to study what they want and the support to turn that passion into a degree or career.
Cayuga is my home. We're a diverse community who celebrates our shared dedication to providing students an affordable pathway to a college degree. Our outstanding faculty and staff are always willing to help you complete your financial aid, access academic support, tackle challenges, or support you as you navigate life as a college student.
Cayuga Community College is exactly where I want to be. What can it be for you?
Hey, welcome to Cayuga. I'll show you around. Our advisors? They're like career navigators. They help us set sail towards our dream jobs. These folks aren't just your classmates. They're your future colleagues and trailblazers in their fields. Because we don't just learn, we become pros. From labs to workshops, I'm getting real-world experience. Cayuga is a launching pad for our careers. So what are you waiting for? Your future starts right here.
If you missed the beginning of our show, I'm Maddox Frere, and I'm here with Siren Sync band members Lily Bernard and Tina Kovar. How are you both feeling today?
Good. Thanks for having us.
Yeah, you're both really excited to be here.
Yes.
I know we're really excited to get into it. I know you're local, you're new, so I just kind of want to start with how you both kind of got into music. Were you both just singing as children with little instruments in your hand, or was there a calling later on in your life that brought you to this?
For me, I kind of started out like
kind of late. I always took like music classes and stuff. I never had like a super big interest in being like, oh, I'm totally gonna like make music when I grow up. I felt like that was more in high school when I started doing like chorus and musical theater, and I started like realizing like I enjoy it. So that's kind of where I started, and it's continued on from there. So
For me, it was definitely like even later. I wasn't super musical when I was younger. I mean, I've always loved music, but I wasn't huge. Like I never did music in high school or middle school or elementary school. And like I said, I've always listened to music, and it wasn't until I graduated high school, which I did a little early, but I was like, so what do I want to do now that I have the time and I want to think about my life? And I've just always loved music, so I'm like, this is what I want to go into. So I've just been giving it my everything and learning all I can, but it's been such a fun last like couple years here doing that and starting to make my own songs and stuff and being in the band. So it's been cool just immersing myself, even if I kind of had a late start as well.
Yeah, so you both got to college and kind of realized like, okay, this might be the direction I want to go. What was the pinpoint moment where you decided like, hey, like maybe if we want to do this, we should do it together, make a band? Kind of when did you realize that was the direction that you wanted to go into?
So we had already technically we've been collaborating musically since like our first semester. We were both in musical theater.
yeah.
And then since then we've just like grown as friends, and we started going out to open mics together and doing cover songs. And I think I mentioned how there's the Cayuga Records label here on campus, and I was like, what if we make a song together and submit a demo? And I'm sure regardless we would have made songs together and worked on an album of sorts, but I think it was like we had inspiration like, okay, we're gonna submit a demo by this date. And then we started getting excited and making all the songs for the album, and we were so thankful that we got chosen to make our album here on campus. So we've just been putting all our stuff into that.
Yeah. Do you have any specific artists that you think you guys have drawn from really heavily for like inspiration, whether it be like creating more of like your imagery for yourself or like the genre and like the vibe that your music creates?
See, I always like don't know what to say when people ask like, oh, what's your genre? I'm sure like there's other musicians who have similar types of music, but I just don't know anyone specifically. But I mean, me personally, I love like Regina Spektor. I've been kind of channeling that like indie pop, singer-songwritery, like I don't know like the best like descriptive genre words.
We can go to a different question because this can maybe be answered more abstractly, but how would you describe your sound, especially to people who don't know you, haven't listened, you know, that with that kind of like promotion, be like, hey, like this is who we are.
I think like a lot of our songs so far, especially on the EP, is very like melancholic. I feel like there are also some that don't have like as much of that feeling in them, but I feel like there's so many different instruments in them too. Like it's like we have like ones with like a glockenspiel and like different guitars playing and stuff. I feel like it's all like just very, it like kind of varies between each of the songs. I feel like it's not just like one consistent like sound, although like I feel like some of the singing like for my songs are consistent like with how I write the melodies, and some of her songs are consistent with how she sings her melodies and how Heather sings. So yeah.
I mean, so with that, this can't really be described, but would you say you have more of a sound focus or more of a lyric focus, if there's something that you can't quite change, or does that also change from the song to song?
I mean, I think with these songs, it may not be how we write all of our future songs, but these songs all came lyrics first, so I think that was like the big shaper of these songs, because we already had all the words, and of course like things shifted as the songs came together, but that was kind of our blueprint, and then we added the chords and the melodies and stuff after that. So I think these songs I would say are lyric focused, but also we had a lot of fun like adding stuff to these songs and seeing what fit as far as different instruments and such.
And I want to talk a little bit specifically about your lyric writing process. Was there anything specifically that you did to like get you into the zone? Was it like poetry that you had reworked into like verses? Like how did the lyrics come to be?
I mean, I'm always looking for new ways. I don't think like poetry, honestly, sometimes I'll just like have like a moment or like an idea and I'm like, okay, I have free time, let me just like sit down and like write a couple songs right now. Or it can really be anything. Sometimes I'll just go to my notes app and be like, that'd be a good idea for a song. And then usually just when I have like a minute, whether it's like a couple minutes or just have like a free afternoon, I'll like look at my notes app and like ideas I've had, or I'll just have some inspiration from whatever and then write a couple songs or a song out of it.
You know, so you're not really like waiting for anything to fully come together. You'll kind of just work the pieces together and Frankenstein it all up. So do you find that when you do that, that process can sometimes take longer for some songs if you have something that's like partially worked and you don't fully know where it could fit, compared to like, oh, I've got the song and now we've just kind of got to record it?
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely times where I'll write in a verse and then I'll kind of not think of anything else. And a lot of times I'll look at like previous songs I've written and not turned into any music, but just have written the lyrics out, and I'll combine them and be like, wait, I should put this verse with this chorus, and then kind of make a final draft of a song, as far as like when I write songs, lyrics first.
Mm-hmm. And so what is it like really going from process to process when you've had your lyrics and then maybe you're now starting to work on melodies for working on like what instruments you want backing, kind of tracking, all of that kind of stuff?
Yeah, it's definitely very fun, and sometimes it doesn't come as easy to me, but sometimes it does, because I have all the words first, and then just trying to figure out like what would sound good. Like, no, I don't think, you know, this sounds too happy for this song, or this sounds too slow and dramatic. But I think it's been really fun collaborating, especially on the songs where I've written the lyrics and then Tina or Heather sings them. It's been like really interesting hearing their interpretations and being like, wait, I wouldn't have done that, but I really like how that sounds. And that's kind of what makes it a band and a collaboration.
How does it go when you're in like a Cayuga Records meeting and you're working with other students and they might have an idea of like, oh, like maybe we try this or do this? Because I have to admit, although I'm a student and I love the group, I am not a member of the club. I have a few too many things to do, so I don't always know all of the inner workings of the club and what you guys do there.
Yeah, the club was more so like at the club meetings going over like the technical stuff, like we're gonna sign the contract today, we're gonna start in the studio, this is what we've been working on in the studio. And for the most part, we've been like adding all the bits like at my house or like rehearsing here on campus. But sometimes we'll be in the studio and in the moment we'll be like, wait, maybe we should try this sound on the piano, or like adding this little thing, which has always been cool.
So do you find yourself still like creating new music while you're in these processes, or do you find yourself it's easier to focus on one and then come back to something when it's complete?
I mean, I think I'm always just like working on like little songs and stuff. Like sometimes even just after like a long day, I'll be like just sit at my piano and like think of some songs. Sometimes I like it, sometimes I don't. I think I've been giving a lot of like time and effort into these songs these last couple of weeks, just because we're like reaching the end of the semester and our time in the studio. So adding all the, you know, final touches, last instruments, last notes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, can you explain to me a little bit about it? What the process was like specifically for being able to record your song Xmas Cookies, what that was like in the studio?
In the recording studio? I think it was kind of tough at first because like the song was so long, like it like singing all the way through it like kind of like is tiring. So it's it gets like a lot better like once like you start getting into all of the details and like recording smaller parts to like make it like sound like way better than like just going all at it. And I also really enjoyed like adding all the harmonies to the songs too. That's like what I enjoy a lot about like singing, is like having multiple voices singing. So
so you're not just you're Tina and Tina's company.
Yeah.
But I mean, we are going to take one quick commercial break, but we're going to surprise our guests with a little snippet of your song. So don't go anywhere just yet. We're going to come back and talk a little bit more about their creative process, and we'll be right back.
You must be new here. Let me show you around. If you're looking for a college that's all about personalized experience, you've found the right place. If you need advice on academics or just life, our professors are always ready to help. Your classmates become your best friends here. And when it's time to hit the books, the library is the spot. Shh, sorry. Fast forward to graduation, we are ready to take on the world. So what do you think? Come check us out at Cayuga Community College for yourself.
At the heart of Cayuga Community College's athletic spirit and Auburn's lively community events stands Falcon Park, a symbol of unity and excitement in the city of Auburn. This bustling, versatile field hosts the college's baseball, soccer, and softball programs, and vibrant city concerts and events. Falcon Park is a partnership between Cayuga and the city of Auburn, symbolizing the unity of sports and community spirit. Dive into the excitement at Falcon Park.
Where futures are forged and inspiration meets innovation. Welcome to Cayuga Community College. Cayuga Community College is more than a school. We're a foundation of possibilities for students throughout Cayuga and Oswego counties. From the advances within our renowned nursing program, to the heat of our Culinary Institute, and the ingenuity of our manufacturing programs, we offer a wide range of programs equipped with the technology and resources to educate students for the workforce and beyond. Our student-to-faculty ratio ensures personalized attention, fostering an environment where you're not just a number, but part of a close-knit community. With flexible scheduling, including online options, we make education accessible and affordable.
Cayuga Community College didn't just give me an education, it gave me a pathway to my future.
The future is bright at Cayuga Community College. Let's make it brighter together.
Close my eyes and the clock starts bending. The sugar clings and it's so safe pretending. Thoughts sunk no deeper than the next morning. The worst feeling you'd have is that today might be boring. So I lay here still, just replaying, safe in these memories, not swaying toward a future that's rushing in fast, pulling threads from the fabric of the past. Some nights I'm small again, and the lights low and dim. Plastic dolls were given new backstories on a whim. In my mind, every scene's got this nostalgic glow. Even the worst of the worst, I can sit back and watch like a show.
That was an absolutely beautiful song. I'm really understanding that undescribable vibe that you guys were talking about at the beginning. But I have to know, what was the inspiration? Like, did you write this during Christmas break? Like, I have to know.
So this song I've actually had for a bit, maybe about a year. There's like some old hidden version out there of just me singing this before the band, and I knew Tina very well. But this one I haven't changed that much lyrically either since the original version. Really just about like nostalgia and the feeling of like, what if I just like kind of gave in to like the worst and just like thought about the past, or just like happy things instead of moving forward and, you know, living your life. And as far as the Christmas imagery, I didn't write it around Christmas time, but I think nostalgia, one of like something I thought of was just making like Christmas cookies like when I was younger, and that was just really nice imagery for me lyrically to kind of develop into the song.
Like you, I think like you found kind of that feeling of nostalgia, the happiness in those memories, and then you were kind of able to reflect outwards into the lyrics.
Yes.
That's a really big skill. I have to prompt you for that. If my lyrics would not be anywhere near as deep.
Yeah.
But I want to take a second and go back to something that you said before, because I know you guys said you talked about open mic nights, and that's kind of how you guys came together and sort of kind of found your sound. But I want to know, I mean, locally, you don't necessarily have to, but where could someone maybe find you for one of these open mic nights?
Yeah, so usually, finals week, we haven't been going to all of them, but typically we'll go to like 1 or 2 a week. So Auburn Public Theater, they do one once a month on like the 3rd Tuesday of a month, and that's right here in Auburn. Moondogs, we go to every other Wednesday. We found this place called Potter's. It's like a cute diner, and that's like every other Tuesday.
It's like Moondogs is downtown as well,
yeah.
right? Okay.
And then we've also been going to Shep's, which is also in Auburn, another bar. And then Lukenheimer, which is in Weedsport.
That's in Weedsport, yeah.
Yeah.
You get to go to the bar to perform, but you can't. But do you see these performances as a way to really be able to like work on your stage presence and get comfortable in front of a crowd, or are you just kind of like doing it for fun?
Oh, for sure. Like, I think it's a great experience, like for me, because I want to become a better performer. And we've just been doing like cover songs. I think, hopefully soon we're gonna do some of our originals and do like an open mic edition version. But it's been really fun to collaborate and also just like build those performance reps.
Yeah, it is so fun, like going and like hearing how everybody, like what everyone thinks of like how we did, and like sometimes people like come up to us and be like, hey, like nice job, like you guys.
Yeah, because
so
like
good.
it's not just your peers giving you the criticism where we still kind of want to like sugarcoat it and like not just like be mean, but like getting that true outside commentary is so beneficial. So the album is not released yet. I know it takes a really long time. Where are you in the process? You've recorded, are you tracking, are you finalizing?
So right now, I would say we're mostly like in the final stretch as far as recording. Like we have some harmonies we're gonna do, another vocal take on one song, but we're just like adding the final touches for pretty much all the songs, and then the only thing left after that is just the song getting mastered, which I'm not sure fully how long that'll take, but I don't think it'll be that long. So I would guess like sometime in the summer is when the album will be done, and it'll hopefully be on streaming platforms.
Oh my gosh. So will that be all the streaming platforms?
Yes, all the big ones.
And then when I have to know, when you're performing and when you've created this, like, does it align? I know I kind of asked this a little bit earlier, but is it able to align kind of with like your little self? Do you feel your inner child when you're performing? Do you think that you've made her proud?
I think so. Yeah, I like being a child, having been a child, not like super like into music, like as like working hard at it. It was just more like, oh, like I'd just be singing. Like one day, I feel like I would, like my younger self would be super surprised that I would be doing this stuff, and I think she would be happy. Yeah.
Yeah, like I feel like in the moment it's easy to be like, oh yeah, it's just something I'm doing right now. But then when I think like, wait, it's so cool that like I'm like 18 years old and recording like my debut album with my band in a studio, like.
Yeah, 7-year-old you should be very proud of that fact. And with Recipes of a Memory, we know we've kind of talked about the je ne sais quoi of your genre and your sound, but what would you say are the more central themes for your album? Like what kind of emotions would someone have to feel to align with this album?
So I think, I mean, they're all very personal songs to me. I really, speak like my truth in them, and then, tie it up in like metaphors and stuff like that. But I think there's a lot of feelings of comparison, feelings of worrying about the future, thinking about the past. There's no love songs. I don't really write love songs, or haven't yet. So I'm sure if you're like a teenage girl, you'll relate to some of my songs.
You have to love for your life. That's the thing that matters.
Yeah.
And one other question that I have, this is probably going to delve into a few ones, but where did the band name Siren Sync come from?
Well,
well.
we had another name in mind, and we couldn't use that name. So I think.
Do we get the interview hot as to why?
So as far as like creating name ideas, typically it would be like me and Tina at open mic nights at the bar, and I have like a little notebook and we'd be writing ideas and stuff. And then someone we have met at open mic nights had an idea, Pandora's Box, and I was like, wait, I love that. And as like a music production student, I know like when we're making a vocal track, we call it a vox. So Pandora's Vox was the idea we had. But I think there's a few too many Pandora's Voxes out there, and you know, just can't take the name.
Cut to the chase.
Yeah, but Siren Sync, I think Siren is another great like imagery because of course the singing and just like the mythicalness of it. And Sync I really like as like kind of a double because it's spelled S-I-N-K, which I love. It's just kind of like, I don't know what the word is, like domestic, just kind of, you think it would be like S-Y-N-C, like music sync, and I just think it's like a nice like kitchen sinks. I don't know.
I'm so honest. I'm putting that together right now, and that's awesome.
Yeah.
I didn't even think about that. I'm like, how? Like, I'm really thinking of a mermaid in a sink. Like, if I'm gonna be so honest, I love it. But what artist could you see Siren Sync opening for in the future?
Ooh, that's a good question. I mean, I feel like we would do like anyone. Like that'd be such a cool like opportunity for us. But like as far as like crowds that would like us, I feel like someone going out to see like a girl like indie band or something, that kind of vibe. I don't know, maybe if like Phoebe Bridgers came back from like her hiatus or something like that.
One could dream.
Yeah.
So I wanna take a second into a little more fun questions about kind of band mates and their personalities. Who would you describe as more of like the mom of the group? You know, making sure everyone's like at recordings on time and making sure everyone's phones are charged. Who's a little bit more messy?
That's you.
Yeah, I think I'm like
you're the messy one. So does that make you the mom?
No, she's the mom. she's like on top of like all the like recording and all like the practices and stuff.
Yeah,
like,
for better or worse, I'll be the one like blowing up the group chat with like paragraphs like, guys, these are the dates. Make sure you have this ready. Make sure like, definitely, you know, all for the best. But sometimes I'm like, okay, I'm being a bit much. But I just have.
No, that's how you're gonna get it done.
Exactly.
Now I know we kind of talked more about inspirations, but outside of that, what kind of like musical artists and genres yourself do you guys love listening to? I know I could listen to basically anything under the sun except maybe like screamo.
I'm the same way, but I mean, like I do love like kind of like our genre, like indie stuff. Like I like love like all kinds of like indie, but like I'll be like random and like rap and like metal and like grunge and like all like. And even like pop and stuff, I'll like basically anything.
Lily, what about you?
Yeah, when I go in like Tina's car, like I could be hit with like anything from like her playlist. But as far as what I like, I mean the same. Like I really like anything, and I'll have kicks of like everything. But I think recently I've been like a big like singer-songwriter era, and you know loving like Fiona Apple, Regina Spektor, Alanis Morissette, and like older singer-songwriters like Joni Mitchell, Carole King. But anything.
Well, I loved absolutely having you guys on, and I can't wait to see what the future brings you both. I know you're going to go very far. But I want to give a huge thank you to them again for their gracious appearance on tonight's show. I also want to thank everyone on our wonderful, wonderful crew that helped bring the show together. It would not have happened without any of them, I promise. But we did it. We can all finally stop sweating. And remember to support your local bands and artists. They're making music without Coachella budgets or without reschedulable dentist appointments. Lastly, thank you so much to all of you viewers at home for watching. I hope you all had a wonderful time and learned something that you didn't know before. This was Cayuga After Dark. Good night.